Go. We're live here with the huddle. It's showtime. Hi, everyone. This is Bill, your host, alongside with Jen, who is producing today's Friday Night Lights show, Mid Penn. We're broadcasting live deep within our studio in an undisclosed location. This interview is part of our summer series where we interview high school football players leading up to and through the end of the season. Today's show is for Charlie, so please feel free to ask questions in the chat box and we will try to get to all of them. Before we welcome our guest today, don't forget to tackle those like and share buttons to help get his interview in front of more eyes. Our guest today is Charlie Meehleib. He is in the class of 2024 in the PIW District 7, Elizabeth Ford High School. He's on the varsity football team as a defensive end, tight end, and long snapper. He is 6'4", 220 pounds, and he has a 3.6 GPA. Welcome to our show, Charlie.
Thank you for having me.
And we're looking at your huddle tape now. Could you go over some of the plays?
So right here, we're playing West Mifflin. And this is I have a chase down tackle here, a couple yards upfield. This is Ringgold, it looks like, coming across the field. I think this was Freeport.
Okay.
Trying to keep the edge, then back, stop a gain.
There you go.
I have the edge here. My outside linebacker helped me out. Pancake action.
Yep, little pancake action.
Keeping the edge here. Make sure you don't get outside of me.
That's what they teach you. Hold your edge until the play goes somewhere that you can see it.
I caught a slant there. This is me coming down the line.
I like how you took on that pull, the guy pulling and fed him off.
Thank you. That was a tip at our scrimmage at the beginning of the year.
I think that's one thing defensive ends forget about their priorities.
Yeah.
You're on the outside edge again. The running back kind of trying to sneak between you and the lineman, and you crushed him.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see there, Charlie?
I believe that was the Freeport game, and I was making sure I had outside saying to get there again. I was just trying to keep the edge, and he ran right into me.
I see you as a tight end running a seam pattern there coming across the coverage.
Mm-hmm.
There you were on a slant and somebody was going to tackle him. You put him on his butt. All right, there we go. That was your huddle. So before we jump right into football, let's start with some easy rapid fire questions. You're an Apple or Android man?
I'm an Apple guy.
Favorite meal?
Favorite meal would probably have to be steak, but I can definitely do some French fries with some ranch too.
There you go. Dessert?
Dessert? I like them fudge round cookies. You can get like little jojoba cookies. Those are really good.
Never had one. Like to try it though. Yeah. How about fast food?
Fast food? Probably Chick-fil-A. Do you count? If Chipotle counts, then Chipotle too.
About it, you make it about 90% of the people that we have on the show is Chick-fil-A, so we love it here. Yeah, it's about the best fast food you can get. I don't care what anybody says. How about actor?
Actor, probably Adam Sandler. He's fun. I love all Adam Sandler.
Type of car?
Type of car? I don't know. My truck. I have a Ford, so I guess I'll go Ford.
That's what I own too, so I'm with you there. Vacation. If you could have an all-paid vacation anywhere that you wanted to go, where would you go?
I'd probably say Bora Bora. I heard it's nice up there.
Me as well. Music. What for music did you get into?
I listen to everything, honestly. A lot of my friends like to listen to rap music, and I've like a lot of friends that like listen to country music, so I know a little bit of everything. I know some Motley Crue, rock. I know everything.
Nice. Well, thanks, Charlie. Those were good answers to get warmed up with. So let's dive right on into the interview here. What is your favorite subject in school and why?
Probably lunch. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, I like math was probably my favorite this year because I really enjoyed the teacher. Like whenever we weren't just doing like school stuff, we were able to have one on ones, like just normal conversations, engaging in like other things besides just like the geometry we were doing.
Okay. What is your least favorite subject and why?
Least favorite, I'd probably have to go with English. Probably, I'm not a big writer. I can write, but it depends. And like if I get into a good book that I like to write about, then I can do that. But pretty much it.
All right. We got a question here from Mark Nelson. Are you getting any interest in college and for which sports?
Uh, I'm getting interest in football, and there's a couple colleges that I've gone to, like Albany. Coach Baylor invited me to Bowling Green. I'm to Pitt. I went to Pitt, Penn State. Purdue my freshman year. So I'm getting Navy, Wake Forest. So I'm talking to a lot of schools for DN and tight end.
That's awesome. Any hobbies you enjoy?
When I'm not, playing football and playing basketball, I like just playing basketball in general with my friends. I go golfing a lot. Uh, skiing. I like to ski in the winter. I love skiing. Hanging out with my friends a lot. I honestly working out is one of my hobbies because I lift and work out every day.
Good. That's the only way you can get better, right? Is lifting every day. That's something that didn't happen when I was in school. We usually lifted on a Wednesday and Sunday after the game for the most part. But now
Yeah,
it's an all year round. I mean, high schools even have a spring practice like colleges do now. It's just crazy.
yeah, that's what we do.
So, who are your favorite sports athletes?
My favorite sports athletes right now for football, I think mine would be AJ Watt because he's an edge guy like me, and when he makes a big play, he's up screaming, flexing, getting the crowd hyped up. So I think I kind of like he reminds me of me sometimes when I watch him play. So that's probably mine.
That's awesome. He is a great player. So, if a younger player would blow a play, how would you handle it?
Um, I would handle it by, I'm not gonna like down him at all. I'm definitely gonna, make sure he understands what he did wrong, know that he did it wrong, but like help him so he knows what to do when it happens again.
Viewers, don't forget to subscribe and tackle the bell to be notified of our future programming. Also, please sack that thumbs up button and share this interview, which helps ensure Charlie gets the maximum views he can for this interview. So, why do you play football?
If football was introduced to me when I was like a baby, I remember seeing all my baby pictures. I was always holding the football, and ever since I was a kid, my dad was always telling me about like him in high school playing football. So I think ever since I was a kid, it's just been like that's like what I always wanted to do, and that's always been my dream. And here I am trying to keep fulfilling it.
That's great. Now, you just segued into our next question here is what age did you start playing football?
I think I started when I was 7 or 8, actually, maybe even a little younger. I was supposed to play flag, and I walked down the hill, and I'm looking, and there was the flag team, the Mites team, and the Mighty Mites team. And I was supposed to be with the flag kids, and I was always like bigger than everyone. I was like, I'm gonna go right straight to tackling. So I skipped flag, went straight to tackling, played an extra year there. So I was around 7 or 8.
Any good memories out of that year? I mean, your first year doing that?
I started. That was or I started at center actually. I remember I was worried I wasn't gonna play a lot, and I got down there, went through a couple practices, and I started my first year.
Oh, there's another segue. So, have you always been a defensive end, tight end, long snapper?
Actually, no, I didn't get. I've always been able to put a long snap, but I never got into it until like more of like my sophomore year last year. And I've always bounced around from with like tight end and line. Like ever since I was a kid, I played O line all the way up to like recently in high school, and that was when I was able to be more versatile and do a little bit tight end, H back. And then for D end, I actually played D tackle when I was a kid. And once I got to middle school, I played a little bit of outside backer, and then I played middle backer my eighth grade and freshman year, which I love middle backer. And then once I found the right fit for me was D end. It's I've been my love ever since.
As you move into your junior year, how do you think youth football prepared you for this season?
I think it prepared me because like I always had great coaches growing up. Like we were introduced like we hit a lot when I was younger. We never did like we always had like we named our plays, not like how we do in high school. Like we don't have it like, all right, you're running a slant, you're running a corner. Like we had specific names. So like as we got older, that we were used to being under pressure and stuff like that.
Right, like your receivers, you got call X, Y, and Z, or do you do the number system?
Now we do the number system in high school.
Okay. Back when I played, we only had the VSH tape for film study, and that was on a Sunday. Today's age is more technical, difficult due to digital use, either by the school or a third party live streaming. Does the team get instant access after the game?
Yes, we use Huddle. So as soon as the game's over, I go home, usually shower, and by the time I get out of the shower and get ready for bed, it's already up, and I'll sit there and watch a couple plays of that before I go to bed and get ready for film in the morning. So it's up there instantly.
That's great. I wish I had that. Do you think that helped you improve?
Absolutely, especially whenever we have film together. Like our coaches, they break everyone down, like of what they did right, what they did wrong, what they could have did better. Like even our coaches showing us what we did up there, and then like them even staying in front of us, like acting like they're doing a one on one to show what like I could have did getting off the edge maybe with my hands more. But I definitely believe it impacts everyone greatly.
It does. I mean, each position has tremendous their own mechanics. So, their footwork is different, their hands are different, how you uh, hold yourself as far as, the body into the position that you need to go to and stuff. So, the game is a little bit complicated more than what a lot of people would think.
Yeah.
Charlie, besides watching your film, what is your routine during the school week?
During the school week. So for practice and stuff, right after school, we lift. We lift for about an hour and a half, maybe. Then we go watch film. After film, we have like 10 minutes to get down to the field, get our shoes on, stretch out, and then we'll run, and then we'll go into defensive ND before or and offensive ND before we get ready for like team practice.
So, on game day, what gets you fired up in the locker room?
Actually, what I do is I actually go in a dark room with only my AirPods in, and I listen to my music, and I put no one else is in there. I always tell my one friend, I'm like, "Hey, come get me when Coach starts talking." They're like, "Okay," and I go in my room and I sit in there by myself.
Okay, it's awesome. Mentality is one of the most important aspects of the game. So, what does warrior mode look for you? Like looks like for you?
I believe it's being like 11 is one. Like we're all together as a team. Like if one of us, if we're not all in together, then we're not at all. Like if we're all locked in, we're all staying positive around to each other, believing in one another, then we're gonna go get the job done on Fridays.
You put war paint on or listen to any certain music? What you told us that you have your earbuds in your ears when you're in the dark room and stuff. But what type of music is it that you're listening to?
So it's not everyone's traditional music. It's like kind of like not rock music, but it's like kind of a mix between rap and rock, loud music, fired up.
So, are there any other must-do pregame routines other than the dark room and music?
I always get tapes for every game. I go talk to my trainers. I'll hang out in there a little before I get taped. I always do that every game. I make sure wrap everyone up right before we head out. The prayer, we always do a prayer. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. All of the rituals.
Beyond the winning season, what does your success look like for you this year?
So every year we always have our goals, and it's conference WPIAL states. We past past 2 years of high school varsity football, we got our conference, and then my freshman year we got the WPIAL championship. We fell short, unfortunately, Central Valley. Last year, my sophomore year, we fell short to Central Valley again in the semis. But now this year we're working to get all three and hopefully make it to the states.
Yeah, it sucks and it hurts not going further than that, but I mean, you have to look at the whole picture there is that you had a good team and you got there where you did. I mean, focus on the good stuff, not the bad, right?
Exactly.
So what is your best memory playing football?
The best memory of playing football, maybe I'd have to say my freshman year when I found out I was starting varsity. It was a week before the first game, and I was playing H back, and they looked at me and they were like, "Hey, listen, you're a big strong kid, and if you want to get out there and play, we're gonna need you to play O line and figure out the plays." And I was like, "Coach, we have a week." He's like, "Listen, we believe in you and stuff." And I put my mind to it, worked with the coaches. You know, I would be texting my coaches on the weekends like, "Hey, can you like break down some film for me on huddle and go on the playbook section?" They were sending it to me right away. I'm glad if I didn't have their help, I don't know if I would have been able to because I greatly appreciate my coaches.
Well, you didn't get a swelled head over it, what it sounds like, but it did have to have like this overwhelming um, feeling that you made it, you're there, but now also is that you're going to get there and prove yourself too, right?
Exactly.
So, who's your biggest fan and why?
My biggest fans definitely my family. You know, my girlfriend. I know my parents both. My mom and my dad drive me every single day to get better. You know, I know even on Fridays, I know my parents are looking down on me, just knowing I'm gonna go out there and do my best. And I know they're cheering up there. You know, I know my grandfather, he's up there. His famous one-liner for every game is "Hit somebody, Meehleib." So I know he's up there cheering for me. Seeing my girlfriend after the games puts a smile on my face. Especially my mom and my dad. They do everything for me. So definitely them two the most.
That's great. So, what would be your most embarrassing sport moment?
Our most embarrassing sport moment?
Yeah.
That's a hard one. I'd have to say
Well, take your time if you have to think about it.
most embarrassing sport. It's kind of embarrassing, but it was probably this year when we played Freeport. We were punting the ball in our own side of the 50, and I overthrew our punter, and they worked off that and tied the game. We end up winning and going leading us to the semis, but at that moment, I really was just like hands on my head, like, wow, that just happened.
Yeah, well, even the best makes the mistake. So, how about what you would say is your greatest weakness?
Greatest weakness. I'd have to say it's probably being very critical of myself. Like I'm making sure I'm always on point. Like that's my biggest like I'm making sure I'm working harder than everyone, and if I'm not, then that's a problem. That's probably mine. Always making sure like I'm critical of myself, making sure I'm doing everything right.
Well, that's a good sign of an athlete. There was a handful of people we interviewed, and they said that they don't know because they don't have a weakness. I always think, well, there's something there somewhere that you could is your weakness. So we have a couple questions here. Okay, um, from Troy Scott, what college are you looking at the most right now?
Most right now, my recruitment's always open. So I'm not looking for a specific one. I'm still, working on my recruiting, talking to other coaches, going to the camps and seeing the coaches in person. So I'm pretty open right now.
Another one from Mark Nelson. Have you thought about what your major might be when you attend college?
Yeah, I'm stuck between communications and engineering. I think I can stand in front and talk to a lot of people, and I'm also into engineering too. So I'm stuck between those two.
for great careers, that's for sure. So we have another one from Mark Nelson. Is what skills do you think to work on to improve?
I work every day. I think another like I need to work on my hands more, which I'm getting a lot better at it for defensive end. But like I'm working, I on school days I wake up an hour before and need to get up and get ready for school so I can lift and stuff. So I'm working on my craft every day. I go to my trainers on the weekends. Right after football, I will go to work and then I get my footwork right like after work. So I'm always working on everything to get better.
Um, One from Robo the Goofy Yen Ginnery T. In your opinion, do you feel being a multi-sport athlete has value versus a specific focus on football?
I definitely think it has its upside. I definitely can generate a lot of what I do from basketball into football. Being good with my feet, being able to break down on people. You know, my footwork. I think that's honestly it helps my footwork so much as like playing basketball. So I definitely believe it has its upsides.
Great. I We have a couple more here. Another one from Mark Nelson. Does your faith play a role in your game?
My faith. It does. I I think for everything. I think he is the reason that I am where I am today. If I don't believe in myself at all, then I'm not going to get where I need to be in life. And that just revolves around everything, not just football.
That's a great answer, young man. So we have the Hunter '09, and he's asking, "What's your greatest strength?"
My greatest strength, I think, communicating on the field would be a good one for me. Like I'm always the first one there to pick someone up off the ground and say good job, and be the first one to be like, hey, make sure you break down on him a little more because he's quicker than us, or he's the player to watch. So make sure you keep the outside on him. I definitely think communicating is a good one for me. I'm very good at talking to my players during the game, helping keep composure. That's probably a good one for me.
Uh, the Hunter '09, thank you. Because on what we're going to ask him next is what about it telling us your greatest strength is, but you did it for us. Thank you. One final question for you. Looking ahead, do you know what you'll be doing right after high school?
After high school, I'm hoping to be playing, going to college, playing football in one of the majors I said, communication or engineering. Definitely, I'll be working until that point, and yeah, making sure I'm working hard in everything I do.
All right, Charlie, we have another question here from J Willie 30. Where's your go-to move at D?
Say it again.
What is your go-to move when you play defensive end?
Okay. My go-to move. I'd say my go-to move is probably uh, I do the I like the two-hand swipe a lot with their hands. Make sure I hit that the shoulder pad like towards the back of it so they can't get their hands on me, and I squeeze in to see what the quarterback's doing.
Yeah, we were taught a lot of times for the swim technique where you put one hand on, whether you see what's the play developing to the right or the left, then you put that hand on the player, and then you just bring your arm over and take all three arms off, your own and the other two. So we have
Yeah,
another question here. The Hunter '09. Does family ever cheer you up?
always. Even whenever I make a couple bad plays or maybe don't have the best game I wanted to have, they definitely are the first ones to be like, all right, here's what you need to do, but and like get into me a little bit so I know what I did wrong. But they're also the first ones to be like, hey, listen, I need you to keep working hard because you're going to get right back after it.
Good. Everybody out there, if you want to throw in a couple more questions here, because in the next minute or few minutes, we're going to be wrapping up. So if you do have a question, probably please get them in here. All right, no more questions. Thanks, Charlie, for coming on to our show and giving us a chance to see that the man you are. And
Thank you.
for everyone out there, don't forget to like and share this interview and tackle the subscribe and bell button for future notifications of this show. And it looks like we got another question in here from Bro Other Ejoff. I'm reading this at an angle, so I apologize if I'm butchering it. And it looks like Engineer One or T. He just says, "Good luck, Charlie. Good luck on and off the field this year, Noah."
Thank you. That's my
And
boss. I work.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's my boss. I work for him.
Oh, great. So the Hunter
Same
oh
with my
09, the Hunter oh 09 has here favorite video game.
favorite video game,
Yeah.
and I don't play a lot of video games, but growing up, I always like playing Madden. I don't play a lot of video games now usually, but whenever I did, it was always playing Madden. I played with my friends a lot. Me and my dad would get after it sometimes. Usually used to end in a wrestling match, but it was always fun playing when I was a kid.
And then just one more, unless we get another pop up here. It's what is education like?
Education. I think education is the most important thing in anything in high school because if you're not playing, you're a student athlete. You're not an athletic student, so education has to come first. If you're not working on the books, then you're not going to be able to play on Fridays and anything. And if you want to, you got to work hard so you can play hard. You got to work hard in the classroom so you can play hard for your sports.
So, what trainers do you have?
My trainers,
Yeah.
I like to thank all of them: Ed Weithholder, Tavon Jenkins, Jared Thompson. I work with all three of them. All my coaches, they help train us too. Those three are extremely important to me. I work out with them usually on the weekends, on the weekdays. I work out with them always. They're great. They're all great. I really appreciate all of them.
Well, yeah, you really have to because they're the ones that are making you better, stronger. So that's great that you called them out by name because that's they deserve the credit. Um,
Yeah, they more than anything.
what Clara's? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, like what classes do you take in to take in 11th grade?
The 11th grade, I believe I took, I'd say, I think it was two AP class or three AP classes, advanced placement classes. Last year, like the following year back, I took all advanced placement classes, and I've taken three this year coming up.
How'd you make out taking them?
A lot of hard work, that's for sure.
So
Every
again,
day,
oh, I'm
every.
sorry, sorry. Go ahead.
What'd you say?
I was stepping on you. I just go ahead and finish your answer.
I said I was just hitting the books hard every day. I couldn't. There was no slack, no slacking on the books. That's for sure.
To get into a good college, you got to have good grades. There's no doubt about that. So everyone out there, don't forget to like and share this interview. Tackle the subscribe and bell button for future notifications of interviews. Doing so helps these interviews in front of their family and friends who weren't available today to watch the show. And it also helps our channel with YouTube's algorithms. Charlie, from everyone here at the Friday Night Lights Show Mid Penn, we wish you good blessings upon you as you move into your junior season.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'd also like to thank my family and all my friends that are here watching, and my coaches and my trainers and everyone that's here watching.
That was great of you. I'm glad you did that. See you next time.
Thank you.